You may have heard that Salvation Army disaster training is going online. Well, the rumors are true. This video is going to give you a peek at that new online independent study course, Introduction to Emergency Disaster Services, a class that's been available in the classroom for a number of years. We're happy to take this material to the internet. So, without further ado, let's take a look at the material inside. The class begins with this splash screen. Down here at the bottom is a Begin the Training button, which takes you to the course menu. You can see that the content of this course mirrors pretty much what you would receive in the classroom. You have a participant manual, which course takers can download. It's got a lot of good material in it, including forms and other reference material. And you have a series of units that cover everything from what is the Salvation Army to Disaster Worker 101 to self-care and going home. You'll notice, however, that only one of these links is currently highlighted in blue. That's because to pass the Salvation Army's online independent study course, you need to take the whole course. You must complete the introduction unit before you can move on to Unit 1. And you've got to complete Unit 1 before you can move on to Unit 2. And Unit 2 to move on to, you get the picture. You also have to pass at the very end a final exam. You must score at least 75% on that test in order to get credit for the material. Okay, so let's take a look inside the first unit. It begins with an introductory video about what it means to be a Salvation Army disaster worker.
Hello, my name is Major Rod Vincent. On behalf of the entire Salvation Army family, I want to thank you for your interest in being a disaster worker. Because of people just like you, the Salvation Army has been able to respond to some of the worst tragedies our world has ever seen.
Once the video is complete, participants can then scroll through the rest of the material screen by screen by using these arrow buttons. Once a unit has been completed, they're returned to the main menu. The unit they've just finished is checked with a green check mark, and the link for the next unit, in this case Unit 1, opens up. There are a number of exercises in the course, like this matching game. The Salvation Army was founded in this city, and it is still home to the organization's international headquarters. I'm betting that one was London, England. Once every answer has been completed, participants hit submit and are either rewarded with a correct answer or given some feedback about what they got wrong. In some cases, they can repeat an exercise and try again. Units like number 4 have some brand new videos, like this one.
In the previous unit, you learned all about the Incident Command System, the management system the Salvation Army uses to organize disaster operations. You may recall from that unit that there's one physician who's responsible for dealing with all the people assigned to a disaster operation. Do you remember which physician that was? If you said the Finance and Administration Chief, you're right, and that's my job on a disaster operation. Now, disaster operations can be stressful, and I found that the people who are best prepared to serve others are those who have prepared themselves. So in this unit, I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about going on a disaster assignment in my world.
Some exercises are designed to make participants think. For example, this one that asks them to think about what is appropriate conduct on a disaster site. While on a disaster assignment, Joe decides to treat himself to an expensive steak and lobster dinner. He then turns in the receipt to the Salvation Army for reimbursement. Is Joe in compliance with the code of conduct? Yes or no? Once all the units are complete, it's time to take the final exam. Clicking on the exam brings you to a splash screen. Students are given 90 minutes to complete 25 multiple choice true and false questions. Once you click on the green arrow to begin, your time starts. And you can see there's a counter on the screen that keeps track of how much time is left for the exam, and a bunch of multiple choice questions on each screen. Which of these items should you be sure to pack when traveling on a disaster assignment? That is a tough one. That covers most of the basics on our new independent study course. Of course, the best way to get a full appreciation of the content is to take it yourself. And the other 2 videos in this series will show you how to set up a class and add students to it. Maybe I should point out just one more thing before we go. How do you actually take the course? Well, there's 2 ways. The first thing, though, to remember is that in order to take this class, you have to be authorized by a divisional administrator or higher, and the other 2 videos will show you how to do that. Once you've been authorized, you get notified you're ready to take the course in one of 2 ways. The first way is by email. Here, for example, is my congratulations, my training registration has been confirmed. I click on this email, and it's got a link to begin the online course. Since this course is tied to the EDS database, you do need to have your username and password for the EDS website handy. In my case, it's jjelitz. I key it in, and I'm ready to go. The other way to access the training is to sign in through the main website. Go to my account, click on training, and a link to the class is right here in the registered course section. Bear in mind that if I can't complete the course all at once, the system will automatically save my progress. So I finish 1 unit, I'll be ready to start unit 2 when I come back to the training. That concludes our overview of the online EDS Intro to Disaster Services course. Like I said, there are 2 more videos in the series, mainly geared towards administrators. If you want to learn how to set up participants to take the class, or set up the class itself, and that is where you need to start, watch these next 2 videos. Thanks, everybody.